Step 1, stance. Step 2, load. Step 3, point the pocket, point the laser. Step 4, extension. Step 1, stance. Wide feet. Arms up at the shoulder, bat up to the sky, 55-degree angle, here. Step 2, load. Heel up, fist bump, dab right here with your knuckles. Shoulder, front shoulder slightly comes down. Step 2, load. Step 3, point the pocket, point the laser. Step 4, extension. Now we'll see how we got to McFarlane here, and today I wanted to share with you some basic hitting fundamentals. Now this is some steps and progressions that are going to be able to apply to the very entry-level player in baseball. Your T-ball player, so maybe you're a dad or a new coach that hasn't really played the sport, but you got to be able to coach these kids now. How do we teach them how to hit a baseball? And this will be applicable for years to come after until they work with some more advanced coaches. So this is the one-on-one on how to hit. So the first thing that we're going to work on with our kids is their stance. Okay, so a good baseball stance is going to typically be almost, and for today's purpose, without doing a major stride, without doing our long strides, we're going to keep our feet about twice shoulder width apart. So if I was to have my feet here on shoulder width apart, and I put the bat here, and I stepped out until my midsection is even with the bat, that's about the stance that we want to be at. Okay, we want to be wide until we can teach the kids some more advanced methods of how to get a proper stride. Okay, the next thing I want to remind you to do is to drill these over and over and over and over with the kids. Okay, and now we're going to start without even having a tee inside on how we swing the bat, and then we'll bring the tee in, and then we'll hit off the tee. Typically for the first week or two, we were just working with kids hitting off the tee, and then we moved to pitch, kid pitch, or coach pitch. Something to keep in mind when that happens. If you're working with these kids on a new swing, how to swing properly, it's going to seem a little foreign to them, and it's going to probably take some of their timing off. So, I see it all the time. We teach new kids new hitting techniques, and then we hit the tee, maybe do a little soft toss, and then we go into the batting cages and throw the ball, and they'll miss the first 20, 30 pitches because their timing's not in the air. But that will come, and we'll teach you how to work on that too. So the thing that we want to keep in mind here, is to just keep drilling this over and over and over. And how we're going to work through today's drill is we're going to have steps 1 through 3. So with younger kids, in any sport that we coach, we always want to make sure that we break everything down into steps, and it's very progressive. Okay, so the first thing we worked on, like we said, was our stance. So we're going to have a wide stance. Our leg width is about twice shoulder width, and then we're going to make sure that we get our knees bent and we get in an athletic position. It should remind you of maybe if you were guarding someone in basketball. You're right down here in an athletic position, wide legs. That's how we want to be in a baseball stance. Secondly, our hands. Where do we want our hands in the beginning stance? And typically what you can do is take this, the bottom of the bat, we call this our laser. So when we work with our kids, we say, this is your laser beam, like you could shoot people with this laser. Remember that, we're going to come back to it in a minute. But if I pointed my laser at my catcher here, and then I just raise the bat up a couple inches, that's about where I want to keep the bat height, okay? So I was here, make sure I point my laser down here at the catcher, and then I raise it up a couple inches, okay? I do not want the bat resting on the back. We don't want the bat straight up in the air, okay? We want it at a nice, almost about a 45-degree angle, 55-degree angle right here, okay? Secondly, we have a wide stance, our bat's up. We want our hands at the height of our shoulder, okay? So we want to make sure that we don't let the kids start with their hands down here, or up here, or up here. We want to keep them back right around the same position where our back shoulder is, okay? So what we want to do for this first drill is, this is all step one. So, little Billy, get in your stance. Make sure that he's got the nice wide stance. Where does the bat go? Hey, get those knees bent. Be able to move your bat. Make sure the bat is pointed up, okay? And our hands are right here, right where our shoulder is, okay? This is the starting stance, okay? So have him get into that stance. All right, turn around 3 times, make him come back up, get into that stance again, over and over. The other thing that you can do is you can mark where their feet should go, so that they make sure when they get it here that they have a nice, solid, wide stance right here, okay? All right, so on to step 2, loading. So loading is basically a timing mechanism to get our body and our swing in the right position, in the right timing with the pitch, okay? So as we loading, where it's not where all of our power comes from. It's not meant to be as we load. It's not meant to be a spring. The springs, it's not where our power comes from. Our power is going to come from our body. But loading gets you ready for the pitch that is coming. It gets your body in position. So there's a couple things we talk about on loading. As we're in our wide stance, our hands up at our shoulder height. There's 2 things that we're going to do. We're going to raise this heel, our front heel, and we're going to feel like we fist bump our dad behind us. So we're going to load here. We're going to shift our weight to our back foot. Now, I'm not really wanting my weight to come on my back foot right here. I'm almost shifting my weight back and pushing off at the same time. I'm kind of pushing on the side of my foot. So it's a weight shift. And as they do it more, they'll understand what we're talking about. But right now, we're going to shift our weight from center to back, okay? And we don't want to reach back with our hands. We're just going to let the hands go back naturally and feel like we're fist bumping dad about right here. So we're here, okay? Heel up, load. Back, load. Nice athletic position. Right here, load. Load, 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 okay? As the kids get more advanced, and maybe they work with some advanced coaches, this foot, sometimes people will pick up their foot, or they'll even start with their legs not as wide because they're gonna go into an actual stride. So as they load, they're going to stride forward here, okay? But for today's lesson, we are not doing a stride. Basically, our stride into our turn is going to be picking up this heel. That's all we're doing. We're just going to pick up this heel. When they get comfortable, maybe they'll want to just kind of pick up their foot just a tad. So we're going to do this 20, 30 times and just get them ready to load. So they'll be here and you just say load, right there. Load, load, load. Keeping your hands back, load, load, okay? So that's step 2. The other thing about a loading is your front shoulder. As we get this down a little bit more, probably the next thing that we'll add into loading is this front shoulder will slightly come down, okay? So as we're loading, we have our hands back, our knees bent, as we load and fist bump back, this shoulder is going to slightly come down. It's part of this axis that we'll talk about in our next step. So as we load, back, load, back, load, back, okay? So that's step 2, over and over and over and over. Then we'll move on to step 3, which here is going to be our swing. So our swing is gonna, there's a couple of main terms that we're gonna use. Point the laser, point the pocket. Point the laser, point the pocket. Remember the laser? It's this. It's our gun. Okay? So we're gonna point the laser, we're gonna point the pocket. So the first step we're gonna work on with our kids is pointing the laser. And that's to get our hand position and our bat position in the right place. So we'll be in good position, our knees bent, athletic position. Okay, nice and loose, hands up by the shoulder. We're gonna load, okay? And then point the laser at the pitcher. Back. Load, point the laser. Back. Load, point the laser. Back. Load, point the laser. Okay? See where my hands are? Now, as we point our pocket too, our hands will get an even better position. But that's what we'll do. We'll do that 10, 20 times. Load, point the laser. What happens by pointing that laser is it makes sure as we're able to come through in our swing, we have our hands in the right position. And that hand position is called palms up, palms down, right here. My palms are up, my palms are down, okay? The biggest mistakes that kids will make in the beginning is they get up to the tee or they get up to the plate and they swing, they do the arm swing, and they swing from here, boom, right here. And look where my palms are, side to side, palm sides. No, we want our palms up, palms down. And what you'll notice, and what should always be true, is when you are swinging through, point your laser, back, point your laser, and our hands are here, okay? And again, my elbows, see they're at the same height. Palms up, palms down. You'll notice that the barrel of my bat is below my hands. It's always going to be below my hands. Whether I'm swinging at a high pitch or a low pitch, the barrel is always going to be below my hands. And I should be able to show you palms up, palms down. Even a high swing. If it's a really high swing, look, see this? Right here. Palms up, palms down. Low swing. Here. Right here. My palms up, palms down. The barrel of my bat is going to be below my hands. Second, so we did point the laser. Now after we get our laser pointed, we're in the right direction. We get our hands palms up, palms down. Now we're going to show them how to hit with their body. So, and this is great for all sizes of baseball players. Even the littlest person typically has legs stronger than the biggest kid on their team. So, as long as we're not hitting with we show them not to hit with our arms, and we can show them how to load and hit with our whole body, our whole body, our whole core. Even the smallest player can rip the ball, okay? So this should be really exciting. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna show them how to hit with their body by what we call point the pocket. The pocket we're referring to is the back front pocket, okay? The back front pocket, we're gonna have them point it at the pitcher. Point it at the pitcher. So, now we point the laser, so we're in a nice wide stance, arms up at our shoulders. We do our load, point the pocket, point the laser, boom. See that? Load, right here. load, point the pocket, right here. Now notice a couple things. My front leg is straight, okay? My body weight is still somewhat centered after I've loaded, okay? Foot up. As my foot comes down, I point the pocket. Notice how my front leg is straight and my pocket is pointed toward the pitcher. What you'll want to look for with your kids are when they point the pocket, when they come back and load and point the pocket, a lot of them will do this. And you'll see they're way out of position, so they've lost all of that power from their body when they keep this, when they come too far forward. And you can notice if they come too far forward if the front leg is bent, okay? And you'll see it a lot, and you'll have to just keep reminding them, stay back, front straight leg, come back, point the pocket, slam that heel down, boom, right here, okay? Stay back. So point the laser, point the pocket. A couple other things to remember on this drill. And that is the shoulder position. So, you know, and if I put the bat here, you can see how my shoulders turn, and you can see the axis that they turn on. So if I was hitting the ball, just using my arms, using an arm swing, okay, palm side, which is the big no-no, the axis of my shoulders would just be straight across, okay? But now that you see, when I load, my front shoulder slightly goes down as I load back here, and my front foot comes up. You can see the axis kind of tilt this way. So here, and then when I point the pocket, point the laser, watch the axis of my shoulders. Here. See that? It comes up and around almost at a 45-degree angle on the back side of us. So you can see this axis. As I load, shoulder comes down, and I point the pocket, point the laser here, okay? That's another thing that you can look for. And if they're not, oftentimes you won't see the axis, the proper axis that we just showed you, if their arm swinging this way, here, okay? They're trying to swing level swing. No, never. Look at my bat, above my hands. I'm palm side, big no-no. Want to make sure I load, point the pocket, point the laser right here. Okay, palms up, palms down. Point the pocket. So we'll start over. Step one. Good stance. Wide stance, knees bent, bat up, back of my shoulders. Relax. And you can get them. I love it. In the beginning, it's all tense. You cannot hit as hard if the muscle is tense. It must be relaxed during the swing. So it's good to have them just relax. Hey, get a little pep in your step, get a little bend in your knees, a little dance, wiggle your butt a little bit, but you're right here, okay? Step two, load. So my heel is coming up, and I'm fist bumping my dad behind me right here. Boom. Shoulders coming down. Yeah, shoulders coming down. Step three, point the laser, point the pocket. Here. Boom. And there's our hit. Step four, and the last part of this is the extension. So we want to make sure it's the last thing you'll work on. As they start through these steps, oftentimes, they'll want to stop here. They'll want to stop here, point the laser, point the pocket, because you've drilled it so many times. So you'll have to talk about making sure that they extend on through. Okay. So now that we are done with that, it's time to hit on the tee. Okay. Now, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that we're lined up in the correct position relative to the tee. And how do you judge distance? where do you put your feet? Is it, back foot, front foot? Typical rule is you're going to have your front foot lined up directly with the ball and then a slightly bit out to the front of it. Okay? And a nice wide stance. We're right here. How close do we need to be to the ball, to the tee, to the plate? Well, where are we going to finish our load and the mid part of our swing? That'll answer the question. So as I load back, I point the pocket, I point the laser, and I'm ready to swing. Here is where I'm going to hit the ball. Okay? And you can see I'm probably a little bit too close. So I moved over because I want the mid part of the barrel to be directly connected with the ball right here. That's the perfect position. Now, when I come back here, it looks like I'm pretty close to this ball. And most kids when they come up to the box or they come up to the tee, they put their bat out here, and it's basically, how do we arms extend this all the way up? No. We're going to make sure our left leg in front of the tee, okay, in front of the ball. As we've loaded up, we point our laser, we point our pocket right here. That's where I want to be. Boom. Okay? Boom. That's the sweet spot right there. So now that I've figured out my feet are in the exact right place, so when I walk up to the tee, I want to be here every time. How do I know how close I am to the tee? Do I have to, make sure I get in this position every time and then start moving around? The answer is no. Now that we're in the right spot, we don't move our feet, I just take my left hand and I stick it out. Where is the ball? I stuck it out right here. And I can see I got a little mark on my bat right here. That's exactly where my bat should go. That's exactly how close I should be to the ball. So when I walk up to the tee, all I need to do is stick my bat out, get up here, right there. Then get my feet out wide, and I'm ready to go. In perfect position, here, okay, right there. So, a couple things to remember as you are hitting off the tee, and then maybe doing some soft toss. Oftentimes, when we start really hitting it during the winter, you're not hitting outside, you're not throwing balls. But the tee is where you're going to really learn the technique of the hit. And then you want to move on, if you're coach pitching or if you're machine pitching or if you're kid pitching, move on to the batting cages. Just remember that the timing is going to be off, okay? It's kind of like completely redoing a golf swing. It's going to be foreign. It's going to feel weird. You're not going to feel like you have that much power in the beginning. And, typically when we bring a kid to the batting cage after they've been working on this swing, they'll miss the first 20 or 30 balls. It is not uncommon. And one of the reasons is because with this swing, remember, our kids have typically been used to swinging here, okay? So all they have to do is just get the bat to here. And they're usually hitting the ball out here, right? That's not where we want to hit. Remember, we want to hit the ball right here. So in order to do that, we have to be patient. We have to wait for the ball to come to us, and then as we get into the right position, we hit the ball here, and then we swing through, and we're continuing to connect with this ball from here all the way out until right here until we hit our extension. That's why there's so much more power in the swing. So that being said, make sure that you help your kid work on the timing, because he's going to want to hit it out here. So just make sure they wait on it. They're patient. Okay. Make sure that the balls that are coming in the inside, don't let them have the natural tendency to jump out. Oftentimes, those are the best ones for this swing to grab. Typically, when a ball in the old swing, when a ball would come to the inside, they would hit, and they'd have to hit it here, right? Hit it about right here, and it's always going to go foul. But for us, if the ball's inside or middle inside, it's perfect. Because when we come back in our load and we point our pocket and we point our laser here, look where we're hitting the ball. Boom, right here, all the way out to the extension. So we love the inside pitches. We're never scared of the inside pitches. So make sure that they stay in on those and don't hop out too quickly on those balls. Anyway, I think that's about it. If you have any comments or questions, just shoot them in a note below. And we're going to be coming out with some new videos on our throwing mechanics, how to make sure that we're throwing with the proper form, okay? How to make sure that we're catching the ball correctly, and some fielding drills as well. So stay tuned. This is Adam McFarlane. Have a great day.